Perez, how you doing, sir?
Doing good, sir. You? How are you?
I'm doing fine. Nice to meet you.
Good to meet you.
So, first question. What was the moment when you decided that you wanted to be a politician?
That's a really good question. We're going to start right off from the bat.
From the beginning?
Yeah. So I don't think it developed that way for me. First, I wanted to be just somebody who had a job.
Any job, or?
Any job. It didn't matter, any job. I was a young man. I was trying to get employed from high school. I was in love with my girlfriend at the time. So I needed a job. So I just wanted to be successful. And I got my first job, which was at Mercer Hospital here in Trenton, New Jersey. And that was many, many years ago. It gave me an opportunity to think about the possibility of having a life with my family or create a family. But as I went through that, I kept developing. So for fast forwarding through my career, I ended up going to the military, spending 20 years. During my time in the military, I did a lot of things. I was the director of security operations at North Atlantic Treaty Organization. I was in the Pentagon for 4 years. I led soldiers in different scenarios. I was a criminal investigator. All of those opportunities in the military started preparing me for what is now called Paul Perez, a politician. And I worked around a lot of good politicians, right? I had the opportunity, the blessing, to be in the vehicle when the president first asked Colin Powell to become the chairman of the Joint Chief of Staff, which was historic in its value and significance. So those kinds of things, small things that happened throughout the course of my career, always kept it in the back of my mind. I later had a career in federal government when I was a senior executive, and also in the private sector. And actually what happened was I said, I have 15 brothers and sisters in the city of Trenton, New Jersey, some of them who are still here suffering. And when we talked about, crime, violence, drugs, guns, poverty, joblessness, it all affected my family. So I decided how or what was the best way that I could do something about it. And there it is, politics.
What was the greatest lesson you learned through being in the Army?
The greatest lesson I learned through joining the military was discipline. Discipline, because discipline is a hard attribute to bring onto yourself, because a lot of people have difficulty in accepting responsibility for their actions, one, and then number two, taking orders from others. And the military taught me how to stop, pause, think about what they're asking me to do, and then very quickly analyze why they're asking me to do that. What's the benefit to both of us? And in the military, it was a sense of urgency in keeping you alive.
There's a lot of youth who want to be politicians once they get older. What advice would you give to them to become a politician?
Get involved right now.
Involved right now?
Right now. Don't wait.
Any age?
At any age. You could be 9, 10, as long as you can carry a sign, as long as you can read the material. Get involved right now, because politics affects you from the day you were born to the day you die. So you don't wait to get involved in politics. Waiting is what causes you to be left out. And then waiting is what also causes you to then depend on someone else to tell you about politics. And 9 times out of 10, they're going to talk to you about politics in a way that benefits them, not you. And people forget that politics is what gives you power as a people. Okay, whenever you hear somebody says, I don't believe in politics, these guys ain't doing nothing for me, they've been doing the same stuff, that's usually because they become what's called complacent in a rut, in a cycle, and those people who know you don't want to get involved take advantage of you. Okay, Trenton is a city that has a budget of about $300 million a year. They have another $309 million that comes in to the school system, and then they get more money that comes in from other avenues, and yet we see nothing but poverty, dirty streets, unpaved roads, contaminated water. Somebody's not taking care of the best interests of our people, right? So if you get involved right now at this very moment, you could be standing in front of City Hall demanding your rights, right?
Exactly.
There you go.
So what exactly does a mayor do? Because someone recently asked on my Instagram, they said, what does a mayor do? I didn't have an answer for it. What does a mayor do?
So a mayor is responsible for managing all of the services, the people, and the facilities that run the city. Okay, that's what the mayor does. So a good mayor would know about managing people, because you need to manage 1,600 people who work there. A mayor would know how to manage money, because you have to manage the budget, which is about $300 million. A mayor should know about contracting, because through contracting we get additional services for our people. A mayor should know about security, because he runs the police department, right? A mayor should know about emergency management, because he's got to talk with and respond to issues regarding fire and protection of the population, right? A mayor should know about public works, because the mayor is responsible for keeping the city clean, right? So when you look for a mayor, you want somebody who has that kind of responsibility under their belt already, right? Somebody who's gone through something like that, because if you vote and you vote because somebody's popular, or somebody throws a good party,
or a nice haircut,
you know, I haven't heard that one, but I'm gonna use that one. A nice haircut, right? Or they sat with you in church or something like that. Then you'll find out that once the voting is over, now they're responsible for things that are going to directly affect you, right? If you're a young man, you're married, you got a little baby right now, and the mayor fails to do his job, and your wife is giving that baby contaminated water, that affects you. But you put that mayor in there because, you know, he had a nice haircut, you know what I mean? So you really have to evaluate and look to, does that person look like me? One. Does that person understand my issues? Two. Does that person sound like somebody that I can trust? Three. And then four, is that person authentic, genuine? Are they really saying what they're going to do, right? And the only way to do that is to ask questions and to get involved.
You ever plan to like run for president?
That would be nice, wouldn't it? Yeah, but you know, I got 2 weeks before I become the mayor. I want to become the mayor first, and then you come back and interview me and ask that question. All right?
Is it like a difficult process trying to become a mayor?
Absolutely, because it takes a toll on you, especially when you're somebody who's introducing change. Change is uncomfortable, right? And when people talk about that, you really don't understand. Put your thumbs together like this, right? Okay, now switch it over. How does that feel? Feels different?
Weird, yeah.
That's right, because it's different. You usually do it that way, right?
Yeah.
But I just asked you to change it, and it feels weird, right? Well, that's as simple as how real change feels to people who don't understand it. Some people run from it because it seems to be unusual, uncomfortable, right? And they fear it. Some people just don't understand it and don't want it. And then some people just reject it outright. But not all change is good change, but some change is a requirement. You need to change sometimes. Right now, there's probably a generation at least between you and me. So you guys coming up are our future. My responsibility is to make sure that I pave the way for you to become the next mayor of the city, okay? Because, and that's how we should be planning. Because then in that way we're taking care of you. But if I'm too busy thinking about myself and destroying your character, well, we're gonna be in a messy situation, right? And in the mayor's politics, it gets that way. People play schoolyard games. They call you bad names. They put out lies. You know, they don't want you to look as good as you are. You know, they don't want your haircut to be fresh. You know what I mean? They want to just take your character and manipulate it and destroy it. So somehow that justifies who they are and it rises them to the top. Fortunately for us, not all people think that way, right? So it is hard to be a mayor. It does have a toll. It takes a toll on you, but you have to have the right character and you have to really want it in order to survive something like this.
If elected today, how would you make Trenton better?
Good gracious. If elected today, first thing I'll be to work right now. Okay, I will run downtown and I'll get in a chair and I'll go to work. Because there's so many things that need to happen almost at the same time. So there's not one thing that somebody can say, what's the one thing you're going to do? And that there's no such thing. There's too many things that need to happen at the same time in order for us to begin to lay the groundwork for a beautiful Trenton, for a new Trenton, right? So my responsibility is going to surround itself around making Trenton, the city of Trenton, and that government work, function in a way that's good to you and the customers who come there or people who call us, right? So to put it in the best terms is, if you come to City Hall, I want that experience to be a good experience for you. I want people to have great customer service. I want you to be satisfied that you got your answers that you were looking for. I want you to say, man, you know, I went in there and I asked for the service, and not only did I get that service, but I got this 10 times above that, right? So that you can talk about it and people feel good about it, right? I want you to be able to also be proud of where you come from. So when people say you're from Trenton, you say, wow, yeah, I know Trenton. Trenton's a beautiful place, right? It's the capital of the state of New Jersey, you know, and I went there and the people are wonderful, right? So the only way to do that is if you have a good functioning government, a true leader, and somebody who's going to start giving people the opportunity to be good themselves, right? Trenton has a lot of good people. What we don't have is a lot of good opportunities. And our mayor is responsible for creating those opportunities.
Wow. Any final words? Any shout outs?
Yeah, I want to give a shout out to Pastor Mark Broach, who's my pastor and supporter, and the man has put himself out on the line on behind my character and my position on what I'm trying to do for the city, and I thank him for that. You know, there are a lot of people who do some great work for us on a daily basis. I want to say to the city of Trenton, you know, this is a changing moment for us. So my office number, my website is www.paulperezformayor.com. My telephone number is 609-498-0568. You should go there and you should read the plans that I have for the city. I'm the only candidate that has real plans already written out for the city, okay? All the other guys are, you know, they're waiting for that fresh haircut, like you said, right? So we need to stay ahead of them and show. But you got, how old are you now?
23.
You're 23. You guys are important. Everybody that's out there that's 18 years old and above, you need to get out in the streets and vote. You really do, because it's your future. If you sit back and you don't vote, somebody else is going to take control of your future. Now you're going to be 27 years old wondering what happened. That's 4 years of your life that you lose when you choose people who are doing it for the wrong reasons. But if you get out there right now, and I promise you vote for Paul Perez, you guys will be welcome. How fast was it for you to be here to get to me?
5 minutes.
That's right. That's right. Because I want you to be included in the process, right? And I respect what you're doing. So I want you to be a part of this. And nothing changes when I become the mayor. It only gets better. But we can't do it if you don't go out and vote for me May the 8th. I need everybody to go out and vote. You need to call your friends. You need to call your family members. You need to talk to everybody that you know and say, man, we got to get out there and vote for this guy, because he's going to bring the future that we need in this city, right?
Brian Jordan, Talking to Strangers. Thank you for watching. And thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you very much.